What's up, guys? It's Take a Look here, bringing you a Royal Rumble 2016 review. Now, first and foremost, I have to apologise, it's the same footage. The recording has been fucking up for ages, although, well, the recording may have fucked up, and by all means, so is the Royal Rumble, so let's get straight into this. Right, the last man standing match was first, as to be expected. A great spot with Kevin Owens going over the top rope and taking out Michael Cole. At this point, I thought the pay-per-view would be kind of sick, man. I mean, when it starts with Michael Cole getting knocked out, like, you know it's good. Expect this one to be physical, and I wasn't wrong. A massive spot fest. Kevin Owens cannonballs through the barricade. Ambrose hits Dirty Deeds, but Owens gets to his feet at a count of 8. Followed by another Dirty Deeds on a chair. Kevin Owens plays it smart and just barely rolls out the ring for the count of 9. Ambrose then puts Owens on the table and drives an elbow straight into the heart. Both men get up at the count of 8. Kevin Owens hit a massive spot, a kind of like sidewinder suplex from the top rope, although Ambrose makes it up. But KO hits a pop-up powerbomb, and Ambrose still makes up a count of 9. Kevin Owens goes for some moonsaults on some chairs, but is pushed through the tables that were set up earlier by Dean Ambrose, and Kevin Owens is unable to answer the 10 count. Alright, that is my summary there of that match. Basically, okay, I predicted that Ambrose would retain the title. He did so. I should have put money on it, but, you know, fuck it. And all that noise. I don't know. It depends, really. But. It is a crazy thing, right? When you consider how physical this match was and that both men are going to compete in the Royal Rumble later on. Now, it's funny, because a few of my predictions came true, and I'll let you know exactly what they are in the future of this review. But for now, I suppose Ambrose going over clean. I did say in my preview predictions and thoughts that was the one thing, the one thing I didn't want to happen per se. But at the same time, I'm alright with it because Kevin Owens looked really strong in defeat. It looked like he was going to win the bloody thing. It really did. It looked like he was going to win the match, but unfortunately for this time, Kevin Owens is not the champion. He did not win the belt, and Ambrose retained. Both of these men are going on to different things now, which I will explain a bit later on in the review. But that, in my opinion, right, was the most solid match of the night. Now, I may be doing the rest of the matches a disservice, maybe. But for me, the last man standing match was the best match of the night. Loads of physical spots. When you think of last man standing match, like people that can be in a last man standing match, like, you get, physical fighters. You get people like Triple H, like Randy Orton, like, Batista, like Brock Lesnar, like, even like someone like Big E could go and do it. They have to be big, physical, intimidating figures who can be prepared to dish out a beating and take it to. And needless to say, both men done that on what probably was, to be fair, the best match on the card. So, it's all good. Or at least I thought it would be all good. The Royal Rumble then, I suppose, took a shallow decline, if you want my honest opinion. Like, it wasn't super shit, but it would steadily just get a little bit worse as the night progressed. So yes, let's get on to the rest of that. Next up, we had the tag team title match. Now, I'll admit before we even get started, it was a good match with a few high spots, but I'll admit I wasn't into it. I wasn't as into it as maybe I should have been. There were a few nice spots. Maybe, now this is going to be a controversial opinion, maybe I'm growing tired of the New Day. Now, am I? Or, am I in the majority in that sense, or am I right? But, the New Day do retain after Big E catches a flying Jimmy Uso off a blind tag, trying to hit an Uso splash, caught in midair, hits the big ending, and once again the numbers game the numbers game works for the New Day. Now, to be perfectly honest, it's because there's no tag team division. Like, I think, well, I was going to say 5 even. Now 5 tag teams really does seem like a lot. Originally you had the New Day. I was just thinking in my head there. The New Day, the Usos, Dudleys, Primetime Players and the Lucha Dragons. But with that at the minute, for whatever reason, the Primetime Players don't seem to be together anymore. Sin Cara, I believe, is injured. The Dudley Boys are jobbers, which is totally ridiculous in itself. And then by that sense, we only have 2 tag teams. So definitely the New Day need to have 2 new opponents to fight. Otherwise, they're going to risk fading into obscurity. Although, as predicted, this wasn't the last time we would see the New Day. It wasn't the last time we would see the New Day tonight. So, I suppose that's a bright spot for fans of the New Day. But anyway, on to the next. Okay, so again, the US title match was your pretty standard underdog battle versus David versus Goliath, with Del Rio dominating the smaller man, having random fight backs. Kalisto didn't, until no avail, until he hits the Salida del Sol from out of nowhere and wins the title. He deserves it, but before we actually get into a breakdown of where both characters are going to go from here, right, you clearly need to say that it is a bit stupid. Like, WWE got absolutely nothing out of this whole matchup kind of stuff, apart from the fact that, both men can call themselves 2-time United States champions now. And that is pretty much it in that sense. My argument with that is, obviously you needed a match at the Royal Rumble. Why couldn't you just wait? Why couldn't you just wait to have the title match, the initial title match at the Rumble? Because now all that work that Cena spent doing these last few months, trying to, bring prestige back to the US title, has just gone in vain now, because the title's been played hot potato with like these last 2 weeks. It's ridiculous, but it's a good win for Kalisto. I predicted that WWE would be stupid and would have Del Rio actually win the damn thing, but I was wrong. I will admit it's not impossible for WWE to make a bloody good choice of it and to actually do something good with their life. So, credit where credit's due to WWE. Kalisto and Del Rio, they'll probably go on to feud, for a little bit longer. I don't really see anyone who could step up and challenge Kalisto. Maybe Stardust, or someone like that. I don't know what Del Rio will do. It's really weird, because Del Rio's a really weird enigma. I've said it before, he's good in other companies, but he's absolutely terrible in WWE. It's been really interesting to see where both men end up. Del Rio didn't exactly put in a stellar performance in the actual Rumble match itself either, in my opinion, but more on that later. After that, although the Rumble itself was in short order, we had Charlotte versus Becky Lynch. Charlotte obviously accompanied by Ric Flair, and you could tell from a million miles away. I mean, I predicted it in my predictions that this match would be bloody shenanigans, and that's exactly what it was. Bloody hell, man. WWE were clearly playing Becky up as the better wrestler and the bigger threat, with Charlotte needing Ric Flair's help. It's a really good match, to be fair. Probably the second best match of the night, and I know that seems a bit like, a bit anticlimactic for the Royal Rumble itself, but, it's really weird, because loads of people on Twitter, and I'll get into this more when I start reviewing the Rumble itself, because that's going to be a fucking major review, man, but it was like these two girls had their 10-15 minutes, and they really sold it at the park, and with what happened post-match was brilliant. Now, I don't know if it's a bloody warped perception, but I'm just not entertained by Charlotte, man. And that thing she's got on her face too, man, I don't know, it's a bit weird. But anyway, Becky Lynch is clearly the female Brock Lesnar. I have to say that now, right? She just throws Charlotte all over the ring, basically, throughout this match. And there's an amazing spot where Becky had Charlotte in the disarmer from the top rope, But of course, Charlotte wins after shenanigans, after Ric Flair throws his jacket on Becky Lynch, temporarily blinds her. Charlotte hits the spear. Now that is not the big story from this match. The big story from this match happened afterwards when a returning quotation mark, exclamation mark, I don't know, closed brackets or wink wink marks, I don't know, what should I call them, wink wink marks, an injured Sasha Banks, wink wink marks, comes out and basically pretends to join forces with Charlotte, but lays her out with a bank statement. Awesome segment. Sasha Banks clearly working on her intention, or at least letting it be known that she wants to challenge for the Divas title. Sasha, Becky, Charlotte at WrestleMania, book it. Hell, throw Paige in there if you really want to. That is what I've said should happen all along. I said Becky should win, but she didn't. But I did say in my predictions that Charlotte would win with shenanigans, and yes, she did. A few things that have to be mentioned before we move on to character development and where I expect these three divas to go in the run-up to WrestleMania. Here's the thing, simply put, right, and this is, I am a big Sasha Banks fan. I mean, everyone is, man. You should have seen that if you watched the pay-per-view, which I'm sure most of you did. Like, you know, you would have seen the fucking pop she got. It was mental. Remember Brock Lesnar's return in 2012? It was at that kind of level, man. I'm not even joking. It's like hearing an Undertaker gong at WrestleMania. It is at that kind of level, maybe even more. But the scary thing is, now obviously Charlotte's the Divas champion. I don't find her entertaining. She's okay, but she's not a reason to tune in to a Divas match, you know. Excuse me. I even said I was going to go for a piss while they were making their entrances, right? But Becky Lynch cannot be forgotten. That girl's worked so hard from being, you know, arguably the most forgettable face, bar Tamina and maybe Alicia Fox, in the Divas Revolution this year. Like, you know, the spare part, if you will. Like, you know, Tamina was the spare part of Team Bad. Alicia was the spare part of, you know, Team Bella. And it really felt like, to a massive extent, that Becky was the spare part for Team PCB. So it has to be duly noted that she has come a long way in, you know, not wrestling ability, because obviously she was good to begin with, but she's really tried to force the issue and make a kind of pseudo name for herself. Sasha is over like a rocket. Put the title on that girl and you will not fail. I don't know how long they'll put the title on her, but put it on her because she deserves it. She's got the fans behind her. When you finally do want a babyface to take the title off Charlotte, it has to be Sasha Banks, pure and simple. Next up, we have the actual Rumble itself. Now, bear with me, man, because there is a lot to fucking go through here. Let me just sum up the match for you. Right, the Rumble match itself. Roman and Rusev are out, number 1 and number 2, respectively, and begin to brawl through the ropes until Roman spears Rusev and chucks him out. Number 3 is indeed the phenomenal AJ Styles. Don't know why he gets that nickname for. He's not really that phenomenal in my opinion. That's a bloody, I don't know, that's a bit of a controversial opinion. But no, AJ Styles was number 3. Tyler Breeze number 4, who gets almost immediately eliminated after like coming in and, you know, doing the impressive I've just entered the Rumble so I'm going to smack everyone up spot. Number 5 is Curtis Angle. Angle? I wish it was Angle. Bloody hell. Curtis Axel. Number 6 is Jericho. Number 7 is Kane, I believe. And yeah, Axel is eliminated. And that was just a waste. And this annoyed me throughout the whole Rumble. Why did the guys who were in teams, so like the New Day, Social Outcast, it's a no DQ match, man. Just get in there and mug the fuck out of everyone in the ring. Only one of you are allowed to officially enter, but I'll tell you what now, if I was in the Royal Rumble, right, or sorry, if my friends was in the Rumble, if one of my friends was in the Rumble, I'd still get in there and beat the fuck out of whoever I can, because if he wins and goes to Mania and wins the title, you're best friends with the fucking WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Good God almighty, why didn't they do it? Anyway, Goldust was number 8, Ryback and Kofi are number 9 and 10 respectively. And I've even put here in my notes, it annoys the fuck out of me that it's a no DQ match and the New Day aren't rushing the ring. Titus is the next one. Goldust gets chucked out, and then we have R-Truth. He gets a ladder in the match because he thinks it's the fucking Money in the Bank ladder match. I don't fucking know. He gets eliminated by Kane in the end. So does Kofi, but he's caught by Big E. And, like, yeah, fucking Kofi just gets carted around. That's Kofi's usual, like, you know, every year elimination spot that basically, yeah, Kofi does every year to avoid getting eliminated. Simply put, it was probably the only good thing about the Royal Rumble. Anyway, the League of Nations enter and pull Roman under. Yes, under the bottom rope. They completely mug him off, and Rusev hits a big splash through the announce table. The whole thing is so Roman can have a rest. The guy can't go 20 minutes, man. Well, he probably went for more than 20 minutes before this happened, but the point is that, man, it's just so predictable. Luke Harper is 13, Stardust and Big Show are 14 and 15 respectively. Show eliminates Titus and Ryback. 15 is Neville and 15 is Neville, 16 is Neville and 17 is Strowman. It's going to be a fuck up. Strowman eliminates Kane and the Big Show. Out next is Kevin Owens, who does a great job of selling his injuries on the way to the ring. He eliminates AJ Styles, right? And that is crazy. Number 19, we get Dean Ambrose. 20 is Sami Zayn, who eliminates Kevin Owens. I predicted it. Sami Zayn would get in there. He has not forgotten what Kevin Owens done to him, like, you know, and cost him his NXT title and all that palaver. 21 is Eric Rowan, who clotheslines out Neville. But just before we carry on, it has to be said that if AJ Styles is in fact a full-time wrestler, he might not be. But if AJ Styles, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn have a triple threat match at WrestleMania. I mean, I did say Finn Balor in my original predictions, but if it is AJ Styles, I won't have that much of a problem. I'd definitely like to see more of AJ Styles. He's an alright wrestler. I admit to not seeing much of him because I don't like TNA. You know, the best thing about TNA is the beautiful people, if they're even still a thing. But we're getting off topic. 21 is Eric Rowan, who clotheslines Neville out, and Harper on Stardust. Mark Henry is out too almost as soon as he's entered. What the fuck is the point in that? It's 2 wasted spots that they done in the pre-show because Jack Swagger came out later on in the match and got eliminated in exactly the same fashion. Yeah, bloody, he's eliminated by Wyatt. Zayn is out too. He's eliminated by the Wyatt family. Brock is out next. Thank God he eliminates Rowan. Swagger and the Miz is out next, but like he don't get in the ring. He puts like the thing on and does some commentary. Finally, someone teams up to take advantage of the no DQ rules. After the Wyatts have been eliminated, they come back in the ring and they all gang up on Lesnar, who is like eventually eliminated. And yeah, by that time we get Sheamus at number 29, who is like fella and blah 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 fella. Number 30, you've guessed it. It is time to play the game. Of course, it was going to be. Everyone knew that it was him. Wyatt went face to face with Triple H. Wyatt gave Triple H a sister Abigail, but he is eliminated by Sheamus and Triple H. Jericho is eliminated by Ambrose, setting up their Mania match like I predicted. Roman eliminates Sheamus, who is in turn eliminated by a sneaky Triple H, and then it is Ambrose versus Triple H for the title. And rather than give Dean Ambrose the win and provide a shock from out of nowhere, you have Triple H win. Now, I personally haven't got a problem with this. It's just like it was done in a fashion that made absolutely no sense. Why wouldn't you have, Bray Wyatt be number 30 and have Triple H just cost Roman the match, pure and simple? I don't understand it, but, that's the Royal Rumble. What actually happened next, we'll get my thoughts and opinions on each individual feud, and some things I didn't like about the Rumble match and some things I did. Now, unfortunately, with every review, There is parts you do like and there is parts you don't like. It has to be said that this Rumble lacked in surprises. There is no other way to say it. It clearly did lack in surprises. It was wank. It was terrible. It was shit. I don't know what the logistical side is for getting surprises, but surely they could have tried a bit better. Only AJ Styles' debut was the real surprise, and quite frankly, the only thing I didn't call in my preview / predictions. But unfortunately, for whatever reason, there was no surprises. Now to jump on to something else I didn't like, there was at least 3 spots that were wasted. Curtis Axel, Mark Henry, and Jack Swagger. And certainly for Mark Henry and Swagger, who were eliminated almost straight away. Good God, man. What's the point? Swagger's career is in the toilet and he's only like 30 odd. Mark Henry, this was his last Royal Rumble ever, he more or less said. But no, you just get eliminated straight away. What is the point? And with all due respect to Henry, he should have got longer. But if he wasn't going to, give it to fucking Finn Balor, Baron Corbin, anyone else. Give it to fucking Bayley. I mean, okay, come on, let's be realistic. But come on, you get the point. I don't like how basically Roman Reigns spent half the match fucking outside the ring. I don't like the predictability of the finish. Today I was speaking to my mum. She asked me, she said, Luke, why are you staying up so late? I said, because I'm watching the Royal Rumble. She said, oh, what's happening there then? That match where 30 guys throw each other over the top rope. I was like, yes, mum, yes, indeed. I'm glad you remember, because we used to watch wrestling like ages and ages ago together. Anyway, I said, yes, I'm doing that. I decided we had a little chat. I decided to fill her in on what had happened in WWE over the last 2 months or so. Her response was, so Triple H, because she knows who Triple H is, she's cool like that. She watched the Attitude Era, and she said, oh, well, Triple H is probably going to come back and beat up that other guy then. The other guy being Roman. I said, yes, mum. Yes, mum, that is most likely what is going to happen. Well, and then last but not least, I do not like the fact that Bray Wyatt is being primed for a WrestleMania match with Lesnar. I do not like that at all. Brock Lesnar is going to eat Bray Wyatt for breakfast. Not only should Lesnar be doing something bigger in the card, but Bray Wyatt should not be getting fed to a person at WrestleMania for the 3rd year in a row, regardless. Next on my list, we have the things I do like. So, thankfully, hopefully this bit will go a bit longer and we can end the review on a good note. Okay, it has to be said, this was Becky Lynch's out in performance. The last man standing match also was very physical, but as I said, to start off with, we'll go with Becky Lynch. She was always a good wrestler. I always knew, but the girl is so passionate, and after this whole Charlotte Sasha Banks thing is over, and that is a thing I did like as well. I did like Sasha Banks coming in and hitting the bank statement. I wasn't expecting that. That was great. I loved how physical the Royal Rumble match, the last man standing match was, and I love the fact that both competitors sold their injuries on the way down to the ring. I love the fact that the Wyatts actually did get in the ring even after they were eliminated, which probably makes more sense to make Lesnar look strong. After they all were eliminated, just to tear into Lesnar and eventually eliminate him. It was rather good, man. I'm not gonna lie, it was rather good. It was cool to see. Also, I like how, thank God I predicted it, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn will battle at WrestleMania after Zayn returns to eliminate Kevin Owens at the Royal Rumble. Now, if AJ Styles is hanging around for more than one night, he should also be in that match. Jericho was indeed eliminated by Ambrose. A possible WrestleMania match for the IC title there would be kind of alright. And yes, pretty much the ending kind of was okay. Again, I hated the predictable nature of it, but come on. It was either that or Reigns winning the belt again, or retaining the belt, I should say. I liked how Bray Wyatt got a bit of the spotlight by attacking Triple H, but other than that, there wasn't much that I did like, unfortunately. So yeah, that's going to be it for my Royal Rumble review. Overall, I'd give it a good 6 out of 10 stars. 3 out of 5, 2 out of 5. 2 out of 5 seems a bit harsh. 3 out of 5 6 out of 10, whatever. It was a good show. Just the severe lack of surprises really hurt it. In fact, I'll give it a 2.5 out of 5. There you go. 2.5 out of 5, maybe 6 out of 10. I don't want to be too harsh, but the lack of surprises really hurt it. Anyway, guys, hopefully you've enjoyed this Royal Rumble review. If you have, please don't forget to leave a rate, comment, and subscribe. The footage took very long to record this review because my software has been fucking up. Took ages to do too. So please, goddamn, like the video if you have enjoyed it. I'm out. Peace.